We are completely in our Barbie era. We just watched Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper, a 2004 direct-to-home video DVD movie thing. I had no idea what I was getting into, but here I am. Arezou, what is this movie?
So for once on this channel, the horrifying thing we watch is something I have seen already, and Candace hasn't. So this was part of a series of like fairy tale retellings with Barbie. I am obviously, if you're paying attention, too old to have been in the target demographic, but I have a cousin who's 10 years younger than me. So when she was little, we watched some of these, and this was one of them. This is essentially a retelling of Princess and the Pauper. So we have Princess Annalise, who likes science and wants to be free of being a princess. And then we have Erica, a seamstress who likes to sing and wants to do music, but she lives in a very impoverished kingdom.
And she's an indentured servant.
She's an indentured servant. I'm like, oh, we are dancing around a spicy word here.
Yes, which if you know anything about history, is just like something else.
She's a slave.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
That's some very strong language, Erica. But the two of them meet in town when Annalise's tutor...
Julian,
I almost called him Justin. Annalise's tutor, Julian.
He looks like a Justin.
He really does. Takes her out just so she can have like a day to herself, because there's this King Dominic coming who wants to marry her. And Julian, who's in love with Annalise and she's in love with him, is like, let's just go out. So then she bumps into Erica and they sing that I'm Just Like You song that you've probably heard on TikTok.
That's why I chose this one, because I'm like, I know this one. I'm like, can we watch this one? Because I'm like, I know
TikTok.
Know the song. You're just like me. I'm just like you.
They don't agree to switch places. They're just like, oh, this is nifty.
Yeah. And then I was shocked that they didn't just like, okay, let's switch places for the day.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing nothing with this information. And then Annalise gets kidnapped. So Julian's like, I'm going to do something with this information. And he goes and gets Erica, brings her to the palace, and is like, can you just be Annalise while I go find Annalise? And then Erica spends a lot of time with King Dominic, who's like young and handsome and whatever. And she like falls in love with him while lying to him. And and then she's obviously falls in love with Dominic, and Julian and Annalise get together, and it all works out so great for everyone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is considered the first Barbie musical because, wow, there's a lot of music in this.
There's a lot of music.
I was shocked. And you know what? It's not bad.
Yeah, like some of it gets a little repetitive, but
yeah.
We've listened to some duds for this channel. This wasn't bad.
Yeah, comparatively.
They got...
Not bad.
They got Martin Short to be the baddie, Preminger.
I was like, why do I know that voice? Why do I know this voice?
Which I should explain, he kidnaps Annalise because he's been bankrupting the kingdom by stealing all the gold from the mines. So nobody has any money. And he's just like, I'm going to marry Annalise and take the throne. And I'm like, but you have all this money, like you don't need the throne. But he's like, I'm going to take the throne. And then Annalise gets in his way. So he tells the queen she's dead. And with no investigation, the queen's like, okay.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Like, she's like, that sounds fine. And then he's like, so I'll marry you instead. And she's like, okay, like to get his money to help the kingdom. But I'm like, you need to ask like a couple questions.
You just found out
the only one asking questions.
She just found out like 15 minutes ago that her daughter's dead. And she's like, okay, I'm engaged.
Your adult daughter just died. And you're like, I guess I'm marrying Preminger.
And Preminger is like, when they're at the wedding, because of course the wedding gets interrupted. But while they're doing the vows, he has a mirror and he's looking at himself in the mirror during the vows, just so you know. Especially, and then the first time you see this guy, the queen's like, oh, I wish he was here because I need help with something. But he's like off robbing them, really. That's why he's off. But there's a portrait of him and then you're like, wow, that's the evilest Barbie looking dude I've ever seen.
Also, I'm going to jump ahead to the end for a second. We're 5 minutes into this and I'm going to jump ahead to the end because there's something about this that bothers me. So the kingdom is bankrupt because Preminger stole all the gold. Even though some of it I don't think was real gold, but he steals all the gold, therefore the kingdom is bankrupt. And while he has locked Annalise and Julian in the mines where he plans on drowning them, they discover geodes, which are essentially, I forgot the word, it's not amethyst, agates. They're agates. Like if you look inside a rock and it's got all those crystals, like that's what they find. And Annalise is like, this is great. our money problems are solved. So as the daughter of a goldsmith, that's not how this works. Gold has value because you can do stuff with gold. It's literally worth how much it weighs. You can make it into jewelry. You can make it into currency. Like, you can do stuff with gold. You can't do anything with agate except set it into jewelry or display it or like use it to make not even a ton of furniture, just like trays. Like you can't really do much with it. So I'm like, I understand this was meant for 7-year-olds, but I don't understand how the agate is going to fix your money problem. So I just need to get that off my chest.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm just like, Annalise, there are flaws in your plan.
Wait, but going back to the music for a second, this is
okay.
The music is performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. Yeah. I was shocked too.
Legit orchestra.
The London Symphony Orchestra.
Damn.
Like the ones who did Star Wars, Superman. Okay, yes, we made it about Star Wars. We made it about Star Wars. We did it. But yeah, so the whole thing is these two Barbie princess and the Pauper, they look exactly alike, except Erica has brown hair and they do the Spider-Man thing where they're like, oh, kind of thing. And the only difference is that Annalise has a birthmark on her shoulder that looks like a crown.
That's how you know she's a princess.
Yeah.
They each have a pet cat.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about the animals in this. There's so many animals. Like, how many sidekicks?
I think everybody had a sidekick. They each had a cat. There was a horse with a French accent. Yeah.
There was a dog, an evil
Preminger
dog.
had a dog with a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, I was like, what accent is that?
That's how you know he's evil. No offense to Brooklyn.
Wow.
I don't know. Serafina, Annalise's cat, is just fancy sounding. Wolfie.
She looks like Serafina looks like the Fancy Feast cat. Open up.
Oh
like
my
the
God,
one
she does.
Doesn't she so fancy?
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
And then Wolfie, who is Erica's cat, barks.
Yes. And he always has his tongue out like a dog. He's like, hey. And
he reminds me of that cat that went viral a few years ago who was raised in a family of dogs and thinks he's a dog. Maybe that's where Wolfie came from.
Pretty sure my dog thinks he's a freaking cat with his attitude.
He and Wolfie switch places.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, the poodle is evil.
The horse is French.
Yeah, the horse is French. And yeah. It felt long. It felt longer.
It did. And it was only an hour and 20 minutes.
So it was 80 minutes. Usually these are about 70 minutes.
It was long.
And it just felt like it kept going. And so many songs.
You know what? It's partially... No, go ahead.
One of the songs where Julian is teaching Erica how to be a princess for the day, which he gives her way too many details, like just what she needs to get through the day, dude, or just the next 5 hours. But one of the lyrics was, leave the parsley on your plate. That's what princesses do.
So it doesn't get in their teeth.
Wow, that's brilliant. This is a masterpiece.
Truly.
It's too smart for me. It's too smart for
sound advice.
What were you going to say, Arezou?
I don't even know. Oh, part of the reason why it felt so long, partially because they keep breaking into song. And other than the princess song that Julian sings and the I'm Just Like You song, they don't really like advance the plot. Oh, and I guess the Dominic and... No, I'm going to walk that back. They do it. Most of them advance the plot. But partially that, and partially the fact that Annalise gets kidnapped like 3 separate times.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like in increasingly hilarious ways.
Yeah. First, she gets kidnapped by the goons outside of the palace. Then she gets kidnapped by the dressmaker, thinking that she's Erica.
Mm-hmm. And then she gets thrown in the mines.
Yeah.
So it's just the same thing kept happening to Annalise.
Yeah.
And Julian had to swing in and save her. And that's fine. Like, she's obviously out of her depth, but it just kept happening.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one consistent kidnapping that she kept foiling or like developing, and like she maybe busts herself like half out and then Julian meets her in the middle kind of thing. Like, you know, something to develop. Well, it was just like, she's in, no, she's out. She's in, she's out. And like the thing she had in the dress shop, I think was the best one because it was like clever, like the how to find me and how to prove it's really me. Because she does make it home at one point and they just don't believe her.
Yeah, they're like, hey, the princess
is inside. Like, I don't know who you are. Which makes me wonder why she didn't whip out the birthmark then. But
yeah,
when she gets sent to the dress shop and like that beat I liked, but the kidnapped and thrown in a house and then kidnapped and thrown into mines, like, was repetitive.
Yeah.
Kids are not
It's a lot of kidnapping.
stupid. Like,
if you were a castle guard and this girl who looked exactly like the princess, though, that you probably knew like her entire life, comes up, wouldn't he be like a little bit like, let me pause, let me like have a spear right in her face or whatever?
Also, like, it's not like one of those things where, because I always wonder this in period pieces when somebody's like, oh, you're the princess. I'm like, how do you know that? There's no cameras. But like, how do you know for sure? But this is also a world where Erica looks at her in the town square and goes, oh, you look like the princess. Yeah. So everybody knows what the princess looks like. So I don't know why the guard isn't like, let me like double check.
But like, I have the princess's cat with me. Like,
and her birthmark.
Her birthmark. Oh my gosh. The ending of this, they had Erica, the princess paid off the indentured servitude of Erica. And
oh my God.
The king who fell in love with her gives her the ring anyway. And she's like, I want my freedom. So peace out. And then the narrator's
for you.
Yeah. The narrator's like, a couple months later, she's like, bye, I'm going back.
Which I respect. You know what? This is like the criticism a lot of people throw at Beauty and the Beast is like Belle wanted adventure and she wound up getting married. But Belle was stuck in a very small town where people didn't really get her. And she just wanted something exciting to happen. And what happened in her movie was pretty damn exciting. So
that was an adventure.
Yeah. And like like she wants to explore beyond her village. Erica also wants to explore beyond her village. And now both of them having married royalty, they can do that. They have the funds to do that now. Yep. And they don't have to go by themselves. It's not more of an adventure just because you're going alone.
Yeah.
So
that's what I liked about the remake of The Little Mermaid this time is like Ariel and Eric are going off to have adventures on the sea.
Common interests and they want to go explore.
Yeah. They're not just sitting in the castle after they get together and be like, yeah, I guess that's over.
Exactly.
We're done.
There's no, like, Dominic loves music. He plays so many instruments. He loves the fact that Erica can sing. Like, there's nothing stopping them from
they can start a band
study
together.
Music. No, like they can start a band.
Go on tour.
They can go all through Europe and like learn from the masters. Like they can do that.
And get the plague.
There's no plague in Barbie Land.
Yeah, the Dr. Barbie doesn't happen until a few centuries from there. Okay, exactly. They have like this weird double wedding.
Where they have pink and blue embroidered on their dress so you know who's who.
Yeah, because you got a color code. And then the two cats get together. And the narrator's like, and they had kittens and kittens? And I'm like, somebody spayed and neutered those cats?
They were busy.
There were like 30 kittens in there.
What's the birth cycle for a cat?
It's like, I think it's like 8 weeks. It's really fast.
Really?
It's really, okay, we're looking it up.
I'm going to check. What a thing to look up.
Pregnancy will last between 63 days and 65 days. So about 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Jeez.
I was about right. How did I know that?
Okay, so 9 weeks. Let's say like...
Oh, wait.
Kittens a litter. That's 6 litters-ish.
See, average kitten, 48 kittens. So, yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. Damn.
Who were those cats living with if, like...
In the palace, because, like...
But which palace? Because
Erica.
Was with
no, not Erica's. Annalise's. Erica's not there.
Yeah, but so does that mean Wolfie went to, like, left Erica? He's like, peace out?
Erica went to travel. She didn't want to take Wolfie because it's, like, demanding on a cat to travel like that. So they left Wolfie with Annalise in her castle.
Please tell that to Taylor Swift's cats.
Did she take them with her?
Sometimes, yeah. They're on the plane with her.
She's got, like, people. She's not going on a solo concert tour.
That's true.
By herself on horseback.
Pretty sure those cats know how to ride horseback.
So Wolfie moves in with Annalise and Julian. Dominic, I assume, is just chilling at his place.
Sad.
Writing love songs to Erica until she decides to come back. Listen, get yourself a man who supports your musical endeavors.
And just will be outside waiting for you to come back after a couple months.
He's like, I'll wait for you. And I'm like, oh my God. Real men would never.
Yeah, they're made of plastic, Arezou.
The bar has been set by King Dominic.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I have something in my notes. Okay, in the prologue, the narrator's like, oh, yeah, there's these 2 babies were born. Those freaking babies were terrifying.
This animation was terrifying.
Yeah, the eyes creeped me out a bit.
They
it's 2004, small budget, CGI. Can't expect much.
Yeah. That's the thing. They do this thing that like a lot of early animation does where when they're walking on the ground, it doesn't look like they're actually making contact with the ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like they're just going like over the surface, but they're not actually touching it. And this is not to drag the animators. You are working with what you have.
Yep.
And obviously this is iconic because here we are 20 years later talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I have to give them props for doing a different kind of Prince and the Pauper story.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just 2 people being like, let's just exchange lives. They actually like made it like, instead of being 2 people wanting to get out of maybe their own responsibilities for the day, it's 2 people trying to do what's right.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
This walked so the Princess Switch could run. Which, if you listen to the Geek You Awful, you know how much I love the Princess Switch.
The Princess Switch universe?
The Princess Switch cinematic universe. I think it grew this year. I don't know. I stopped keeping track.
I don't know. There's like
again.
Yeah. There's probably going to be a baby in the next one.
Is there going to be another one?
Probably. Netflix got to make some money.
I hope so. Netflix, if you're listening, I want another Princess Switch movie. Thank you.
There's going to be like an 8th cousin?
Yes.
On the other side of the world?
I'm telling you, they have to go to the world of Night Before Christmas and get that Vanessa Hudgens, because it's the same universe, and involve her in their drama. That's what needs to happen. Sorry, that's a completely different subject.
I'm so confused. But yeah, overall, I get why kids love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if we had been the target demographic, like if we had been the right age, I would have been completely obsessed with this movie.
Yeah, no. Love Barbie a Barbie that's making dresses, singing, princessing.
Oh yeah.
Adorable animals, sidekicks with different accents. I'm all
like, I know we sit here and make fun, but there's really a lot to love about this. It was like charming.
And I feel like you can feel that there was some effort to it. When it's something like this, like they didn't have to do effort because it's Barbie. I think it would sell itself as Barbie, but I feel like people put some heart in this. Like the singing is amazing. There's actually, they have the same speaking voice, but there's 2 different singers, and yeah, they're amazing.
So my question to you now is, would you watch another one?
I feel like we have to do Rapunzel because of me.
Because it's you.
Know? Yeah.
And we should also do 12 Dancing Princesses because I remember that being nice. Watch it be awful now. Me saying I remember it being nice.
Might be cute. We'll find out. We're
going to watch them.
It's Barbie month.
I've never seen the Rapunzel one either. So
no,
both.
I'm curious. Just as overall a Rapunzel fan in general. See what they do with that story, because it's very simple, just like the Prince and the Pauper. It's a simple story. How do you make that into an 80-minute movie? A
musical, 80-minute Barbie musical.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what animal sidekicks they have in that one.
A chameleon. I'm kidding. But imagine.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add about this?
King Dominic, call me.
I'm ending it there because I can't add anything to that. Like, subscribe, whatever the YouTube thing is. I can't.